morning and welcome back to the trailer park. Happy Monday. Yes, it is another Monday. We survived the weekend. Well, that's questionable, but how is every morning? It is record lows here. We were 80 degrees 2 weeks ago, and it is a 29, 30 degrees here today. It has just been absolutely freezing, and I haven't weatherproofed my mobile home yet. I have those old-fashioned uh aluminum windows with the double window, like the storm windows, what they called them, right? And I always take them out in the summertime because it gets so bloody hot in here. And now I'm fucking freezing. I got to get those storm windows back in. I might even do one of those seal a meal things on my front window because I have a really big front window that's single paned aluminum and it just pours cold air in. So it's time. It's time to bust out the wool socks. And I'm not kid. I'm actually wearing pants. If you haven't heard over at Heartland's Media, sometimes we question if Kit's wearing pants, but I have my jammy pants on. So I'm professional from the top up. Hello, good morning, everybody. Everybody's pouring in. I handed out some wrenches at the end of Beauty and the Boomer last on Saturday night. But here's the thing, a couple of you guys, when you enter your name to give you guys a wrench, you don't come up. 4737 Carlin doesn't come up. Kurt Boss, you're on the list like 5 times. I don't know why you don't have a wrench. Hopefully you got one now. I'm going to keep working on it. I don't know if it's something with us or something with your guys' YouTube settings, but I'm working on, we give everybody a wrench. If you hang out in our community for a couple of weeks, you get a wrench because, hey, we figure why not let you all fight it out as mods? Why drag us into that shit? Okay, we've got a huge show this morning, so we're gonna get moving. We're gonna do fair use because guess what, guys? We're actually on YouTube. We weren't on YouTube last Monday because YouTube gave me a spanking. I don't even know for what. It's like having an abusive parent. You just come home from school, you're not expecting it, and all of a sudden you're in trouble, right? And you're like, what did I do? And they don't tell you what you did. Think about it. You tell me what you did. That's what we're dealing with over in the land of YouTube. We see you, YouTube. Let's see. Yeah, fair use. We're doing fair use. Fair use. Everything I'm commentating on is my opinion. It's my speculation, my crazy fucking conspiracy theory. But if you're interested in any of my crazy conspiracy theories, hey, go check them out for yourself because the info is out there. I would say don't go looking on Google because it ain't on Google. You might find some of it on DuckDuckGo, but we're having a hard time getting real information anymore off of these browsers that we're using, right? Bing sucks. Google sucks. Chrome sucks. Like, I heard there's a couple of new ones out there that they say you should try. I'm going to try them. I'm working on, I have a bunch of stuff stashed and there's a couple of new apps coming out and there's a new app and I want to say it's called Harper or something like that. But basically where you can go follow your creators, like the creators that you guys love and then you just turn on the platforms that they're on. And if they're not on that platform, then you won't get them. So say we're banned on YouTube, then everything that we put up on Rokfin or Rumble will show up on that app. So I'm going to dig deeper into it. I think that might be the future of following content creators with all the censorship that we're living under. Let's see. Let's shout out the chats before we get started. I'm going to start with Rokfin this morning. Good morning, Kate. Fred, where's Fred? Fred's around. I saw Fred tweeted out my links this morning. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Tweet it out for whatever it's worth. It does help us in the algorithms because as we've been told, we are the most shadow banned show on the internet. Who else is it? Jim? Hi, Jim. Good morning, Jim. Popeye the Sailor's hanging out over there. The YouTube's has got Kurt Boss. Yo, Kurt, what's up? 4737 Carlin. I was just talking about you, how I was trying to hand you a wrench, but for some reason, those wrenches. I agree. I'm unwrenched. Yes, I've got you in there. I'll screenshot it and show it to you guys. I don't know why your wrenches aren't showing up. It must be something to do with your settings, maybe. I don't know. I'll work on it today, though. I will go take a look at it. Corky's here, so is Jilly Love. Chris Foster in the day. It's daytime, right? Normally, Chris Foster has to watch us. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. So I bet you're happy to see us in the daylight. See, we're not vampires. Kate's hanging out over there with Snow Leopard. Hi, Snow Leopard. You're definitely a snowy leopard this week, man. It is cold out. Popeye's over there. Popeye, you are everywhere. Who else is in here? You guys are super chatty this morning. Chatty, chatty. I think I got everybody that's chatting, but there's always somebody I always leave out. I always feel bad, but keep coming back. It works. No, keep coming back, and I'll shout you out eventually. And then we've got the Rumble. Who's on the Rumble this morning? Oh, I should probably get logged into Rumble. Did we launch on Rumble? I hope we did. Yes, we did. Dive. Good morning, Salty. Good morning. Of course, we are up on Kick and Twitch and X, the Land of Oz, and Trailer Park Pundit. So we are all over the place. Let's get this shit show started. It is a Monday, and I'm trying to get into my groove yet. If you guys want to help me get a cup of coffee, that would really help me get into my groove. You guys have been amazing at limping me along. Snorky, shout out to you. Thank you so much for the bread and milk, because that's exactly what it was. Every $10, $5, $20 donation keeps me in the game. So I appreciate you guys. And I know times are tough, and I know money is tight. So when you guys send me money, I am so truly, truly grateful. Your support keeps me going. It keeps Beauty and the Boomer going, and it definitely keeps Roar going. So thank you guys for supporting us for all these years. We just had our 4th annual Halloween Beauty and the Boomer Halloween party. We had a blast. Some of you guys were there. Some of you stopped by. Kate actually came in costume. We just put it out there. If you guys want to dress up, we'll bring you in the green room and you can hang out for the show. You can be on the show. We're pretty flexible that way. And a lot of you chose to stay in the chat this year. We get it. We get it. It's hard to do big shows. We've had a couple of Halloweens where we've had like 10, 15 people on screen, and it really makes it hard to navigate. So I get it. It's probably a little bit more fun in the chat. But Kate came dressed to the gills as, can you guess it? Do you know who? As me. I am so flattered. I got to tell you, I truly am. What do they say? Imitation is the biggest form of flattery, something like that, right? And Kate, you were beautiful. Great job. Thank you so much for coming in. We had a blast. I hope you guys had a blast. We were really lighthearted on Saturday too. We didn't go down the deep, depressing holes that we normally do. Kate is a total babe. I know. Mike thinks that too. I know Michael thinks that. She is a total babe. Kate's a wild one too, if you guys didn't know. She really is. So yeah, we had a blast. I came dressed as a Harlequin. I think I rocked it. I think I did a pretty good job. But the problem I'm having now is I can't get rid of these stupid tattoos. I scrubbed for hours yesterday with rubbing alcohol. I got the ones off my face and off my chest, but I still have a few lingering on my arms. I gotta take my mother-in-law to a bunch of doctor's appointments this week. So I better get them off before I do that. So yeah, the 4th annual Beauty and the Boomer Halloween. I can't believe it's been 4 years. I can't believe we've done 4 of those. Wow. Time flies when you're not having fun, right? That's what they say. Yeah, Oz sent me his Harlequin wig from a couple of years ago, because Oz pulled off Harlequin the first year. So our first Beauty and the Boomer Halloween. And he sent it to me and I put it on and I just it just didn't work. And I was like, you know what? I have the hair. Why don't I just do this myself? So I got some extensions, some red and blue extensions. And yeah, I think I pulled it off. I did pretty good, I think. Probably one of my more favorite Halloween costumes over the years. My favorite was Glinda, the Good Witch of Oz. I had the perfect gown. I rocked it. I won every costume contest that year. So tomorrow, of course, is officially Halloween. So today is All Hallows Eve. Make sure that, you know, you're getting ready for the spirits, or you're going to hide from them, or you're going to hang out with them. Everybody thinks that Alberta, right, the day after Halloween, November 1st, it is a Halloween party, but it's not. It's a religious day for those that worship. And so that's culturally inappropriate to wear that as a costume, so I'm told anyways. Let's see, what else do we got going on? I covered it's cold, right? I had a couple of notes. Let me check my notes. Yep, I got them all. I got it all. I'm actually writing notes to myself. Look at me. Look at me. Hey, you got to go back one. What's going on here? So last night, did you guys check out INN? INN had the Indie Media Awards. It was so great to see all the different streamers out there, the journalists. There was a couple of different categories, but Oz and I were so honored to be included in the group of top live streamers for Trailer Park Pundit and Beauty and the Boomer. And of course, Oz, all of his work that he does outside of what we do. He's out there supporting everybody. You guys know he's helping Convo. He helps anybody that asks. So, and Oz is doing such a great job with graphics and video. I look back at our Halloween party 4 years ago, and I'm just floored at how far we've come, right? And I was on a little laptop with some gaming headphones, and now I'm in a big, huge, full studio, thanks to you and to Oz. So thank you guys so much, and thank you to Indy, everybody over there. We love our brothers and sisters at Indie Media, and this is a shout out we got.
Chanda and Oz, if you're not subbed to them already, they do great stuff, like legitimately.
Like, that's a great show.
Please go watch them.
Saturday Night Beauty.
They put a lot of work in.
But Chanda also does Trailer Park Pundit, and this is why I want to go to their pages so that you can see who they are, what shows they do. You've got links to subscribe to them on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Rokfin, everywhere that you could possibly find them, as well as to connect with them on Substack. So that's Chanda, and we've got our friend Oz the Boomer, who's friend of the show, friend of the network. We support each other, good buddy of ours, but he also is an outstanding live streamer. He is, by the way, most people don't know that he was a producer for the Convo Couch for a long time, and put up and
occasionally,
and designs thumbnails occasionally still for the Convo Couch, and does all kinds of behind the scenes work to help independent small creators, on top of the fact that whenever there is an action that's being cast anywhere, he'll be happy to grab it and simulcast it everywhere and share. And we appreciate so much and honor Oz, and go support him. He also, by the way, has his own Substack where he's been putting up articles using some AI, as well as some of the face rendering that he's been doing. And he does some incredible stuff using DaVinci Resolve. And we get to hang out with Oz quite a bit, so we get some visibility into that. But definitely go support Beauty and the Boomer, support Oz and Chanda.
So honored. Thank you so much for including us. I think it's even richer when it comes from your peers, right? So it's just great to be honored for the work that we're doing, and it inspires us to keep going and to hit it harder. And Oz engineered for Convo for over a year. Johnny, he was busy doing other stuff, so Oz stepped in, and Oz was going like 6 days a week there for like a year and a half, because he was doing all of our shows. And back then, we weren't engineering for ourselves. Amber and I weren't. So Oz was doing every one of our shows and every one of Convo Couch's shows. And I'm glad that his workload has got a little bit lighter. I saw how tired it was making him doing all that, but he did it, and here we are. So thank you, INN. Keep up the amazing work over there. Definitely underrated. You guys need to check them out. I love their conversations. They're bringing up topics that I don't see a lot of people talking about. So thank you guys so much. Okay, let's get started on the deck. Did you guys see what's happened to Acapulco? Oh my gosh, it got hit by a major fucking hurricane, and no media's talking about it. That's kind of weird. So you can see the coastline there is devastated. And that's just from the air. Now I got you a clip from on the ground. That is even more shocking. Check this out. Devastating. Oh my gosh, that is insane. The damage. You see the mud that came washing down. It's crazy that we're not hearing a lot about it from the mainstream media. Now, most of those clips and anything that I've seen people talking about came from TikTokers, YouTubers. I don't see the mainstream media even scratching the surface on this, other than to say there was a major hurricane. And of course, it was Hurricane Otis. Mexican troops tackle looting in devastated Acapulco, and some 17,000 soldiers and police have been deployed in the Mexico resort city of Acapulco, where there's been widespread looting since the powerful hurricane hit the region. Videos show people taking food and water from shops. While others walk away with expensive electronics and clothes. I mean, there's always those ones, right? So 39 people so far have been pronounced dead. Hundreds of thousands of people remain without power and water. It made landfall on Wednesday with winds of 165 miles an hour. It was a category 5. And it just took 12 hours to completely decimate the resort town. Now, there's something that nobody is talking about, and it makes me think this is why the media is not covering it. Did you know that it is a future 15-minute city? Oh, check this out. Oh, yes. Well, surprise, surprise. Acapulco has been previously selected to become a 15-minute city. Crazy how these natural disasters keep hitting these 15-minute cities, right? Is it just me? I sent it to Pasta, guys. I sent it to Pasta and said, hey, did you happen to see this? Like, what is going on with these 15-minute cities? Why are they just being wiped out so they can be rebuilt from the ground up? That's kind of the way it seems. It's my conspiracy theory. I can say that, right? I can say that. I still have the Harlequin nails on, right? I'm going to have to fix that eventually. I thought we'd start out light before we get into the war, because we are at war, guys, no matter what. Yep. What? No way. A 15-minute city. Yes way. It is a future 15-minute city, but lucky for them, they get to rebuild it, right? Lucky for them. Did you guys see this shit? Yeah. The demon spawn of Satan went out and threw the first pitch. Let's see. At the World Series, of course. Oh, this is so gross. Just check this.
Please welcome the 43rd President of the United States of America, George W. Bush.
He walks better than Biden. He's got that old man, my balls are hanging down. Getting food. Listen to that crowd.
And doing the catching for tonight's first pitch, please welcome a member of the National Baseball Hall of Fame, one of the greatest catchers of all time, Pudge Rodriguez. President Bush, when you're ready, fire a strike to Pudge Rodriguez.
And he puts it in dirt. Now, as you may recall, Daddy Bush, the first Bush, he bought Junior a spot in Major League Baseball. Remember, he became the commish. And that was his claim to fame because, he was out there doing cocaine and whores and didn't want to settle down. He was very much a Hunter Biden back in the days, for sure. And the daddy bought his way into Major League Baseball. And we all know how corrupt that shit is and was, especially back then in the juicing days. And that led the path to the White House, of course, because that's how it works for all of us. Jim says the weird thing about that hurricane is the locals are saying the hurricane Otis had no rain, just wind. You guys know I keep telling you they control the weather, but that's just my crazy conspiracy. I think I brought you. Oh, yeah. George W. Bush saw his shadow on the picture mound today, which means war in the Middle East will last another 20 years. Yes, that's how that works. Isn't it just me, or do idiots multiply quicker than normal people? It is true. They do multiply quicker than normal people. They're everywhere. Let's see. Come on, move it, move it. Move it, move it. But he wasn't the only one out there, getting into some sports so that way he could get a little bit of press, because Gavin Newsom was not going to be showed up. He is over in China, I want to say. I want to say this was China. And he's playing a little b-ball. Check it out. Oh, and down he goes. Oh, yeah, he's so cool. I got you. I guess, get the hell off me, you crazy white guy. That's like, whatever. Yeah, they're trying to brush off his image. We still haven't I'm not counting him out for 2024 yet. I mean, we got all this other shit going on, but I think there's going to be some last minute people that are going to join the race, right? Still a little early. I love this meme. It's going to hang around for a while. Vote Democrat. Yeah. There you go. I'm trying to remember, what is this?
What's the message to Iran?
Don't. Oh, okay. This is Harris. This came out this morning. This must have been yesterday. Here, let me back it up. So when asked what her message to Iran is, this is what she had to say. Now, you might remember that she had the same sentiment for immigrants coming out of the global south. Oh, come on. What are you doing? There we go. Error. No error.
What's the message to Iran?
Don't.
As President Biden said, just don't.
Exactly. One word. Pretty straightforward.
Don't what? Don't buy cookies. Don't go to bed. Don't. These, oh my gosh. Well, when we tell them don't, check this out. I wonder why they want to. Iran wants war. Look how close they put their country to our military bases. I hate when they do that. Stop putting your countries close to our military bases. The clowns in Congress don't like it. I know, it's so vomit worthy. These are our global leaders. These are the leaders of our country. And in the United States, they seem to think that they rule the world. So, oh my God. Her days of hanging out with Slick Willie paid off well, didn't it? I hung out with some questionable men in my 20s, and I promise you, none of them paid off as well as this one did. A couple other things. Another mass shooting this weekend. This one, let's see. At least 18 people were injured, 2 dead after a mass shooting during a Halloween celebration in Yarbo City, Tampa, Florida. I'm very sad. The footage on that one was terrible. They're just in the streets. I don't bring you guys the gory shit because I have a hard time looking at it. Why would I make you look at it? If I tell you the story and you want to look at the gory stuff, you're more than welcome to go check it out. Yeah. Democrats. That was a double header of disgusting Democrats, right? You had Newsom and then you had Harris. Don't. It looks like Biden's losing support. Are we shocked? The Arab American News says he lost our votes. Betrayed by Biden and other Democrats, Arab and Muslim Americans vow we will never vote for them again. Seems like there's quite a few of us out there saying, I will never vote Dem again. So who the fuck is voting for him? I know, it's all those people that keep hanging out and seeing Hillary live, right? We're going to get there. I brought a lot of disgusting crap from Hillary today, but We keep saying that Biden's polling is 37% right now. Bullshit. Those polls lie. They have always lied, but they really are full of crap the last 10 years, to say that Biden has 37% is such a joke. It's laughable. Anybody can see that he doesn't. So lots going on in Gaza, in Israel. Did you guys know? I didn't bring this, but did you know that we had over 50 transports, American transports that landed in Israel over the weekend? 50. So that means they're staging for something, obviously. And are they going to really tell us the number of American boots on the ground that are there? Fuck no. Fuck, they're not going to tell us. Are you kidding? We know whatever number they tell us is going to be a low ball bullshit. So among all the disgusting shit that they're doing over there, they are throwing sewer water, spraying sewer water on them. So check this out and we'll talk about it. It's so gross. You see the wall. It's on the left-hand side. And how long do they use that on protesters here in America? That's what I want to know. Definitely something they would do. But let's see. Israel police are now spraying sewage water mixed with potent chemicals at Palestinians in Jerusalem. So this was in Jerusalem. A local explains the worst thing you can ever smell in your life. If it touches anything, the smell stays for days. And of course, this had a community note on it that you guys can't see, but because I somehow became a community note person, I could see it. And it says, "This isn't raw sewage. It's called skunk water, manufactured by Odor Tech, with 2 supporting companies." Yeah, okay. It's 100% harmless to nature and to people. It is a malodorant, non-lethal weapon that the IDF and had the US and India use for crowd control. I've been in some of the biggest protest crowds that have happened in the last 10 years in this country, and I've never seen it used in the US. Tell me when they used it on US citizens. I would like to know, because I'll fact check your fact check, motherfuckers. For sure. That is, shame, shame, shame. That is disgusting. That is gross. But versus bullets, I mean, I guess it is a little better, right? Is there any better? There isn't any better. So everybody thinks Elon's a good guy now because Starlink will support connectability to international recognized aid organizations in Gaza. So Jackson Hinkle, I don't know if he busted a nut on this one or what, but he says Israel cuts all ties with Elon Musk's Starlink due to the statement by Elon Musk, who promises satellite communication to internationally recognized organizations in the Gaza Strip. We have taken this position. Yeah, okay, guys. There's a couple of problems with this. For one, I tell you every week that Elon is owned by DARPA, the military, right? And that Starlink is actually 2 different things. It's Blackjack and it's Starlink. And everybody thinks he's a good guy because he's turning this on. But if he turns this on, won't Israel be able to link these internationally recognized aid organizations? And we know that they don't give 2 shits about blowing up UN workers, paramedics, doctors, hospitals, children. So why wouldn't they use this to geolocate people in Gaza? Just saying. That's my take on it. I may be full of shit and I may be a conspiracy theorist, but as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, well, isn't that convenient? Now they can track them, because since they cut the power and the internet and the water in Gaza, they're saying they're having a hard time communicating. They, of course, can't get a hold of each other. They can't call for help. They can't do anything. But Elon to the rescue again. Remember when he pulled this shit with Ukraine and all the shit libs and the neocons were losing their collective minds because, oh my gosh, how are the Ukrainian troops going to be able to communicate with each other? Like, ugh, so cringeworthy. Stop thinking Elon has got a good position because he fucking doesn't. And if you haven't noticed, censorship on X has been Orwellian since he took over. It's going to be the free speech platform. Who did he open free speech up for? Some of the hateful right, but other than that, and not anybody telling any damn truths. And we are definitely shadow banned and censored on X. I'm sure there's not one person watching on X right now. If you're on X, let me know. I'm going to actually check it out and see if there's anybody over there. Are you watching? Oh, I got 1 like. 0 viewers. 0 viewers. There you go. See, I'm not talking. Okay, let's see. Did you guys see this? This is so gross. This is the IDF, the spokesperson for the IDF, right?
Attention, citizens of Gaza, listen carefully. This is an urgent military advisory from the Israel Defense Forces. For your immediate safety, we urge all residents of northern Gaza and Gaza City to temporarily relocate south. Let me repeat.
Temporarily.
We urge all residents of northern Gaza and Gaza City to relocate south immediately. This is a temporary measure. Moving back to northern Gaza will be possible once the intense hostilities end. Hamas puts your life in danger by placing weapons and forces within civilians' area in Gaza, including schools, mosques, and hospitals. The impending IDF operation is set to neutralize these threats of Hamas with precision and intensity. Humanity remains haunted by the massacre unleashed by Hamas on October 7th, a massacre of innocent lives. Israeli men, women, children, and babies were beheaded, executed, raped, and burnt alive. We won't forget that. And the kidnapping of over 200 Israelis we will not forget. To the residents of northern Gaza and Gaza City, your window to act is closing. Move south. For your own safety, move south. This is not a mere precaution. It is an urgent plea for the safety of the civilians in Gaza.
Move south, move. It's temporary. You have nowhere to go when you get to the south because you're not allowed in Egypt. So we're just going to corner you all into one little corner because that's what they're doing. And hey, we'll let you go home after a while. Yeah, bullshit. And are those aluminum flags? No, those are the tips of some spare missiles they had laying around. That's what they look like to me anyways. Dirty dollars, good to see you. Who's the lesser of two evils, Chanda? YouTube or X? Oh, God. If I had to do the lesser evil, I would say X is the lesser evil because YouTube's just, they are terrible, terrible, terrible. The thing about YouTube that makes me so angry is they'll demonetize you, like they demonetize Convo Couch and Richie Medhurst and so many others when they see you making money. So you can't make money, but they'll still allow you to stream so they can make money. And that's what just infuriates me. I don't see X doing that yet, but I'm sure X is profiting off of our data. So either way, they're still. And yeah, you know what's not cool, Bobby? To be a bitch ass Zionist. And that's still true. That's still true. We've had that meme since before all this. So we were calling it out in real time. And I'm not even going to talk about the Peter Dow leaving Cornell West fiasco because we called him an infiltrator from day one. That's what he was. I think that he completed his mission and now he's moved on. Whether you think so or not, that's my opinion. Vanessa Beeley says Gaza's health ministry now reports the death toll in Gaza exceeds 10,000. This tiny baby was taken from the womb of her critically injured mother. Hashtag Gaza Holocaust. So sad. So sad. And that's about the extent of the baby stuff I'll bring you. I mean, I woke up yesterday morning, wasn't awake more than 5 minutes. You see a dead young boy being pulled behind a tank. I mean, God, I saw some doctor trying to put a baby's brains back in while the baby screamed. I mean, it's just horrific. It's fucking horrific. And I don't know how any American can beat the drums and applaud this shit and want more. And ultimately, all it's doing is stemming hate, right? I mean, they're very worried about anti-Semitic attacks and hate on the rise, but all this does is instill that more, right? Did you guys see what happened in Russia over the weekend? They were trying to chase down planes that they thought were coming in with Israel or with Israel refugees. Like the anti-Semitic hate is going to be so on the rise, and that's what these Zionists want, because they're like, hey, see, we told you those guys were terrible and they hated you, so now we got to do something about them, right? So don't stoke into that. Don't hate on the Jews. But it's just like I always say this. You have the everyday people of a country, and then you have the authoritarian, Illuminati, whatever you want to call it, top of the pyramid that rules those people. And I don't conflate the citizens of a country with their government. I absolutely don't. And I don't want to be associated with my government, absolutely not. So we talked about the new Speaker of the House we got last week, right? I think I was on the air and Amber sent me a message like, "Oh, Mike Johnson." I was like, "No, you got to be joking, right?" No, she wasn't joking. Actually, that is our new Speaker, and here we go. We'll just hear from Mike first.
Now, we can't allow Vladimir Putin to prevail in Ukraine because I don't believe it would stop there, and it would probably encourage and empower China to perhaps make a move on Taiwan. We have these concerns. We're not going to abandon them. We want to be cooperative. We need to work together on this, but we owe it to the people to know what the plan is, where the money's going to be spent, and we need some auditing for the dollars that we've already sent over there. These are not tough questions, right? One thing that House Republicans are resolved on is that we must stand with our most important ally in the Middle East, and that's Israel. We will. We certainly hope that it doesn't come to boots on the ground. If it comes to that, and we communicated this to the White House staff as well today, that we have the Article 1 power in the legislative branch of government, and they have Article 2. They have very limited authority on what they can do to respond without coming to Congress to seek consent. And even my Democrat colleagues, Sean, that are at committees of jurisdiction understand this, in the Foreign Affairs Committee.
And you've had comments made by the leaders of Iran that they themselves may get involved in a conflict. If that happens, correct me if you think I'm wrong, I would say all bets are off in the Middle East. We could have a full-out war in the Middle East, Israel at the center of it, and at that point, if Israel's existence is put in jeopardy, I don't think Prime Minister Netanyahu, who I've known for almost 30 years, I don't think there's anything he won't do to preserve and protect his country from people that have committed their lives to destroy it.
He has to do that, and around here people throw around the phrase existential threat. They have an existential threat every day. I mean, their neighbors want to eliminate them and wipe them off the map.
They want to eliminate their neighbors.
Prime Minister Netanyahu is resolved. I've spent time with him personally. I know him as well. I think he's a strong leader at this important time, and I think he's going to do what is necessary. And America will back him up. I mean, they tell us when we're in Israel, and you've been there, they say the reason that we are able to sustain ourselves and survive is because everyone knows that our big ally is America. We know that Iran is directly tied to all this. These are Hamas and Hezbollah are proxies of Iran, and they're tied in now with Russia and China. I mean, it is a new axis of evil. That's how we see it, and so it has to be addressed accordingly.
If Israel, with all the funding of terror and all these terror organizations, are they within their right to fight back and go directly at Iran?
Of course. That was the first, as you noted, the first act of my speakership is that we passed that resolution to articulate that and make it very clear where we stand. The House is back in business, and we're going to stand with Israel.
Oh my gosh. That should just tell you where we're at. Yeah, we got a new speaker, but he doesn't seem to be any different than anybody else that would have been in there, right? And I love how he's like, well, we're gonna we're going to audit them. We got to know where every dime's going. Yeah, okay, because the American people are ever going to know where our tax dollars are truly going. We know at the end of the day, they're going into the pockets of Boeing and Northrop Grumman and Raytheon and Kellogg Brown and Root, like they have for the last 20 years since we started all this shit during 9/11. But hey, good news. Pentagon just announces a new nuclear bomb, 24 times more powerful than the one that dropped on Japan. Now, if you joined us on Saturday night, I brought a little clip of the shadow that was cast by people who were incinerated in Hiroshima. Yeah. So 24 times more powerful. We were talking about, yeah, they have more powerful. Yep, they do. Definitely. And if you guys don't hear it, you should. We're going to war. We're already at war. If you look into what the military is doing right now, we're beefing up shit. We're building shit. We're getting ready. And China's not going to be there for about 18 months, and neither are we. So, it takes time. If you go back and you look at World War II, that we were busy building and getting ready to come into the war, leading up to the war. But then we had to have that big flag moment to drag us into the war, which of course was Pearl Harbor. And it's debatable whether that was a false flag, if our government knew it was coming, right? Wink, wink. And I mean, even Hollywood portrays it. Remember the Pearl Harbor film, where even they had to portray the fact that the message didn't get to White House, that they knew, that Japan was incoming, and they just let it happen. So expect another one of those, because that's exactly how we go to war anymore. Hint, hint, 9/11. And yeah, I see you guys talking about the anti-Semitic Jew hate and how it's going to be on the rise. Go listen to Garland Nixon's rant from this morning over on Rokfin. I think you can find it on his Facebook also. He does an amazing job of really laying out that, yeah, it's going to get bad. And that's exactly what they want. And I've always said this, because I'm of a Jewish heritage, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be hated on too, whether I'm standing for it or against it, right? So many of us. So did you guys see this clip of Bibi that was from 2001, where he basically just lays out that America's going to do whatever we tell them to do? Yeah, Jimmy even tweeted it out. So check it out. We need to suffer so painfully that the price we pay will be unbearable. Large-scale attack on the Palestinian Authority. Get them to the point where they're afraid. That's everything out of collapse. And fear that everything will collapse. That is what we need to do. The world will say that we have, especially today, the U.S., I know how they are. America is very easy to influence. They say they're for us. They won't get in our way. After all. So they do. So what? That is crazy. So basically, he was saying, yeah, we need a total annihilation of the Palestinian Authority. And the kid says, well, what about America? What about the world? And he goes, what about them? What about them? America stands with us. They're easy to influence. We don't have to worry about it. Screw them. Screw them. What are they going to do? That is so gross and so repugnant, and exactly what we are absolutely dealing with right now. Come on, deck work. There you go. Sometimes Google's glitchy. Google's been really glitchy lately. I know we need to do a different platform, but for right now, this is the easiest for me to use. So this was, I can't remember this lady. I want to say she's a staffer for come on, Monday brain, kick in. Anyways, let's just watch it.
Not a proper Jew, the wrong sort of Jew, self-hating Jew. I was called that for the first time when I was 19 years old at university, where I made a speech in defense of a pro-Palestinian motion. And it was in the Jewish Telegraph. And they front paged it. This self-hating Jew, she must hate herself when she looks in the mirror. I was 19 years old. I've had people phone me up and say, we're going to put you in a wheelchair. We know where you are. We're outside your door. Probably the worst incident was when I was with my sister at a meeting about anti-Semitism with all Jews on the panel. And people were shouting at us, capos, capos.
You're called traitor Jews, capos.
Capo was a Jewish inmate of a concentration camp who collaborated with the authorities. We're talking people who collaborated in annihilation of their own people. So it's a pretty bad thing to be called. And it's Jews calling other Jews. Not nice. As a Jew on the left, who is intensely anti-racist and intensely aware of what anti-Semitism is and how dangerous it is, to be called an anti-Semite oneself is about as low as it gets. It's a bit like being accused of paedophilia or something. I cannot really think of anything worse. And it undermines the fight against real anti-Semitism. This is one of the most frightening things for me. People have been weaponizing accusations of anti-Semitism for political ends. The fact that that is going on seriously undermines and endangers our chances of dealing with genuine anti-Semitism, which is a real threat in our society. One of the biggest problems we face is the treatment of our community as if it was just one monolithic block. This is the typical trope of all forms of racism. The Jewish community is not one undifferentiated thing. Its opinions vary, just like every other section of the community. A lot of us are anti-Zionist, and people need to realize that going back generations, Zionism was not the creed followed by all Jews. Far from it. Marek Edelman, leader of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising in 1943, said that Jews should always be with the oppressed and never with the oppressor. I mean, for a section of the population whose history, much that's magical and wonderful, but so much that is to do with persecution, the fact that people with that history should identify with the oppressed in every setting seems self-evident to us. And that's where our support for justice for Palestinians comes in. We are identifying with the oppressed. And for anybody to suggest that it is the Israeli state which represents the oppressed in that conflict is pretty short-sighted and misguided.
Stop!
Yes. Vic told me it's Jeremy Corbyn. Exactly. She was a staffer for Jeremy Corbyn. That video goes on for like another 5 minutes, and she talks about how he was smeared and attacked, and there's no way in the world that he's anti-Semitic. And she framed it so beautiful that the Jewish people of all people should be the ones standing with the oppressed. That's what we were taught. That's what I was raised in. It's absolutely shocking to me that it would be any other way. And she did a great job of summing it up. UN says civil order starting to break down as looting and food and supplies begins in Gaza. So yeah, of course, they haven't had deliveries. They don't have power. They don't have water. They don't have resources. Of course, that's what's going to happen, right? People need to, you need water when you're dying. What are you going to do? And there's nothing. What are you going to do? Of course, there's going to be looting. I'm surprised it took that long. I was introduced to activism by many progressive Jews who were also Welcome, Dustin Price. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the community. And we hope you'll hit that like button and follow and come back, because we're always talking on Monday and Wednesday mornings about these what we thought were progressive issues, but none of us call ourselves progressive anymore, right? If you've gotten to this point and you started out with Bernie Sanders, you pretty much don't call yourself a progressive if you're paying attention, right? We had to drop that label a long time ago. And, so we've seen a lot of the people that we had alliances with lately kind of go off into the whole Zionism thing, and that includes Viva Free. Oh, I'm so sorry. I brought you guys Viva. 3-4 years ago, I was like, you guys should hear Viva. I like Viva. I don't like Viva's stance on this, and he's getting called out in real time. The amount of virtual instantaneous responses, the toxic replies hurling about epithets like Zionism or Zionists, the amount of replies, quote, tweet their own replies and graphic images of war. I think it is plainly obvious that there is a campaign to sow discord. There could very well be. Import foreign conflict and divide nations using social media. Okay, I agree with that. And even if it achieves none of the above mentioned goals, at the very least, it makes Twitter virtually unseemable for communication or reliable information. I don't know about that. I'm not sure what the solution is. I can just tell you it's a very serious problem. Twitter is rapidly losing its utility for independent journalism and quickly becoming a source of disinformation, engagement farming, and promotion of social discord at Elon Musk. So, okay. And he got fried in the comment section. I see so many of these guys out here saying, there's bots, there's Palestinian bots, they're coming in. You really think that there's that many people that wouldn't push back against this? It just shocks me. Kim Iverson was one of my favorite converts. She says, oh, yes, we must do something to stop the spread of toxic disinformation on social media. Haven't ever heard this one before. She should have said ... Nina Jinkowitz, but she didn't. And Post Duopolis, what the fuck is wrong with social discord? You sound exactly like the people who want people censored for the COVID misinformation. Yes. Isn't it amazing how just a few short 6 months ago, the same people were screaming about being shadow banned and, censored for COVID misinformation are now wanting people shadow banned? Oh my gosh, it's so disgusting. Never call for censorship. When you call for censorship, all you're doing is calling that censorship on yourself. Have you not learned that? I mean, that was basic shit that we were taught in school, right? We learned it in school. So disgusting. So when you, as an everyday American citizen, decide, hey, I'm going to go talk to my elected official because, hey, I'm their constituent and I voted for them. This is the type of treatment you get in America. So this is Fetterman having a conversation with one of his supporters.
Why don't you support a humanitarian ceasefire?
No, I'm with the Senator's team. If you'd like, I can talk to you.
No, I can talk to. I voted for him. I'm sorry, this is a democracy.
It absolutely is.
Yeah, but kind of, sort of. Why? 10,000 people in Gaza have been killed, half are children. The Pope's calling for a ceasefire. The UN has called for it. I'm just asking you. You're a good guy. I voted for you. I know you're a nice guy. This is important. You need to leave. Here, can I give you a phone? Here. I asked you to leave. I asked you Senator a question. I asked him a question.
He just assaulted him. He just assaulted him.
You need to leave.
He just assaulted him. He just assaulted him. He was just talking to him. He's assaulted him.
What a chicken shit Fetterman. Fetterman doesn't say, hey, get your hands off of him. Stop. Let him say his piece and then move about, because that's the fucking adult, reasonable thing to do, right? Especially if you're an elected official. I was an elected PCO of the Democratic Party, and a lot of times people came up to me and said shit I didn't want to hear, but I didn't treat them like that. I didn't let other people freaking beat on them. And I'm telling you, if that was me and that guy put his hands on me, you put your hands on me first, motherfucker. I'm going to beat you down. That's just who I am. And he should have been arrested. That was bullshit. Yeah, but that's America. Go ahead, have your civil discord, because you'll just get pushed out the door and told to shut the fuck up. That's how it works in our country. Let's see. Fee says, Fiorel Isabel, if you don't follow her, please do go follow her. Arrested for standing against genocide in 2023, not in Russia, not in the DRPK, not in China, not in Cuba, but in the greatest democracy of the United States. So we have seen, this says hundreds of Jewish Americans calling for a ceasefire are getting arrested at Grand Central Station. We have seen people arrested in Boston, in New York, at Grand Central Station, in DC. I mean, literally over 1,000. I know over 1,000 for sure, but I would say thousands have been arrested in the United States for protesting in the last week or two. Good coffee. Yeah, right here. Good old US of A, where we have free speech. It's the first thing you're fucking born with, right? It doesn't matter anymore, because if they don't like what you're saying, they're just going to shut you up and throw you in jail. And, for a lot of people, it's not a problem to do a protest arrest, right? You get taken to jail. Normally sit there 24 hours or less, and either they'll let you out on your own PR, personal reconnaissance, or they'll throw a little bail on you, $100, $50, whatever you're going to have to pay to get out. And then you'll get slapped with the fine. That's normally what it is in our country. But I have a feeling that for a lot of people, this is going to become a problem, because they're using our judicial system as punishment. Look at the J6ers, right? How many just everyday Americans thought that they were going to go flex their First Amendment right at the capital of this country, and now they're doing fucking, I don't know, 6 years, 8 years, 5 years, like, just because they followed a group. This is insane, and it's the ball's rolling. The ball's rolling down the road. We've been calling it for years. When I was in the protests in 2016 at the DNC in Philly, we saw it. We saw, oh shit, guys, we don't have a First Amendment right anymore. I remember calling home and just like, you guys think we have a First Amendment? It's gone. It's gone. They arrested us. Well, I didn't get arrested. Thank God. I stepped back. I managed to stay back. But so many of my friends were arrested during that event. And they were sat on a bus for 10 hours in plastic zip ties with no water and no bathrooms in 100-degree freaking weather. And then at the end of the night, they just cut the zip ties and let everybody go. That's not a violation of your rights at all. Vanessa Beeley again, 35 Palestinian journalists have been killed since the start of the Israel aggressions against the Gaza Strip. #war crime, #Gaza Holocaust. Yeah, we've been calling this out for many years. They go after journalists. I'd be scared to wear one of those press flak suits or whatever you want to call them. They're bulletproof vests. I wouldn't want anybody to know I was pressed, because it's almost like they're targeted. We've seen it firsthand. They are targeted, right? 100%. Come on. The unreal potential of Palestinians' oil and gas reserves. Now, we've talked about this a couple of different times. What does Palestine have that Israel wants other than land? Oh, oil and natural gas reserves in the occupied Palestinian territories could generate hundreds of billions of dollars for the development. Yeah, now, so they have some natural gas deposits right off the coast out there that they haven't had the money to develop, from what I understand. But hey, Israel and its big brother, US, they can develop that shit. At the end of the day, it's always about resources, and we know this, right? Look at Syria. They wanted to put a pipeline through Syria. That was a lot of what Syria was about, right? Yep, definitely. I just added this one this morning because I love some Truth Stream. Disclosure TV says, just in, the German defense minister sees danger of war in Europe. The military and society must become fit for war. They're telling you guys to get ready. We're at war. We're going to war. And TrueStream, Melissa Drake says, what if the majority of everyone on Earth refused to go to war, and the only people who were left to fight are the people actually calling for it? And that's where I'm at. If you say, yeah, we should go to war, I say, lace up your boots, motherfucker. Bye. Bye. Why send our children? Why send our young, our young kids? You want war? You go. That's the way I feel about it. Sorry, folks, but ignoring it is what the Germans did. Oh, that is so true. The power of the people is stronger than the people in power. And we have to remember that. We have to remember that, right? Who was it who said there's just a tipping point and it's only 2%? 2% of the population, I think. As what I know, Nader always said it, right? Ralph Nader always said, like, oh, it only takes 2% of the population to overturn, put power back on them. How's chats doing? Oh my gosh, look at YouTube. We got 40 people hanging out on YouTube. Wow, good morning. Happy Monday morning. Okay, let's talk about censorship because that's all this is all leading to, right? So I had to bring you guys a system update with Glenn Greenwald and Matt Taibbi because they've both been covering the the growing censorship for years now. So this is like a 4-minute clip, but it's so worth it. I try to keep the clips like under 3 minutes for you guys. Who wants to watch a movie when you come to hang out, right? But this goes by so fast because they have such pertinent points. Let's let it roll.
There are a lot of efforts surrounding the war in Israel to try and usher in censorship in various ways. I don't know if you saw, but Ron DeSantis this week banned a pro-Palestinian group in all of the University of Florida systems, and Fire.org came out and vehemently denounced it, said it's a grave violation of the First Amendment. We've seen this before when it comes to this topic. Given that our government is supplying arms and funds to Israel the way it's doing to Ukraine, and it's kind of a dangerous word that we should be able to debate, what are your general views of the kind of censorship sentiments that just arises around this issue in general?
Yeah, just a two-part answer to that quickly. One, going back to something that you just said, or actually something you said on the day after the Hamas attacks, that, to remind everybody what happened after 9/11, when sort of the Overton window about rights shifted dramatically overnight, and things that would have been ridiculously strange in the 90s to even think about. Like, nobody would have had a torture debate in the 90s. It would never have come up, or there would never have been a politician who came out and said, hey, we need to throw out habeas corpus. But suddenly, that was normal after 9/11 because of the way people talked over and over and over again. And now we have a generation that's grown up and thinks that that's okay. And in the wake of this thing, we've been talking about censorship and the need to eliminate hate speech and disinformation and any speech that could be aiding quote unquote terror for so long that people have now accepted the idea that this is normal. And so things like that you mentioned, like, the Ron DeSantis thing, Nikki Haley, all of that has become normalized. I first started writing about this issue in 2018 in Rolling Stone. And even back then, I pointed out that Palestine has always been kind of the canary in the coal mine, no matter what you think of the issue. When it comes to digital censorship, they're always kind of first in line for every innovation. It's tried out first there. The Intercept, when you were there, did a great story in 2016 about a deal that was made between the Israeli government and Facebook. And this is kind of the classic quid pro quo. Facebook wanted to continue to operate in Israel, and in return, they granted 95% of the requests from the Israeli security.
That was actually the first time I ever reported on big tech censorship, was exactly that story about how the Israeli government was giving Facebook censorship requests of Palestinian journalists and activists, and in 95% of the cases, Facebook was accepting it and banning the people the Israeli government demanded to be banned. That was the first reporting I ever did on big tech censorship.
Yeah, exactly, and it was very prescient, right? Because this turned out to be, I think, the model that a lot of other countries around the world, they looked at that and said, "Hey, that looks pretty good to us." I mean, we get a political monopoly, and the company gets to make money. It's a win-win for everybody, right? And countries around the world started adopting it first in the kind of more autocratic third world regimes. You started to see it, but then gradually in the West, that we started moving towards the same model. And as we've done so, the classic thing that happens with disinformation, Glenn, and this is the last thing I'll say, is they start off with a definition that sounds okay to most people. They say, oh, we have to get rid of health disinformation. So that means when people say, you're going to get a microchip implanted if you get the vaccine, we have to get rid of that, of course, right? But behind closed doors, what they're doing is they're expanding the definition. And pretty soon they're saying anything that promotes vaccine hesitancy is disinformation.
They'll just change the definition nowadays. How many times did we see that under COVID where they went and changed the definition literally in the Webster's dictionary? They changed the definition of something so that way they could control, they could censor. And we have been screaming about censorship for so many years. We've been living under it. We were the first like little pocket of people that were censored as Sanders supporters, right? We were censored for saying that Hillary was lying, that the polls were lying, that it was rigged against Bernie, the primary. You know, we weren't allowed to say all that. And then, of course, as we got into the Trump era, we saw a lot of the right was started to get censored too. And then, of course, COVID hit and everybody was censored. Did you guys, a totally different subject, but did you guys see Ron DeSantis in his floppy ass cowboy boots walking across the stage? They look like they were about 10 sizes too big, and he was clippity cloppy. I would have brought it, but somebody put music into the background of it. They put Staying Alive. And I know I take a copyright strike for it, so I didn't bring it. But if you get a chance, go check that out. It's funny fucking shit. Like, who the hell put his boots on? They're too big. It's just funny. I brought you a Russell Brand. Nobody's talking about Russell anymore. Remember, the whole world was going to burn him to the ground about a month ago, but yeah, it's passed, and he lived through it. So let's hear from Russell.
Now, the problem is when you embark on censoring free speech, curtailing and controlling the public discourse, it seems to be a process that gathers momentum. It's very difficult to stop. First of all, you say, well, I don't like that person. They shouldn't have free speech. And it's someone like, Milo or Alex Jones or whatever. Then it ends up being more and more people that used to be mainstream. Anyone spring to mind? And then at the very end of the process, or not the end of the process, because I'm sure it will continue, Jon Stewart, valid voices that appear to be sort of respected across the political spectrum because of the work that he did with New York first responders around 9/11. He has blue collar support. He's an intelligentsia, respected guy. He's a mainstream guy. He's been in movies and all that. Now, Apple, who would have seen the acquisition of Jon Stewart's show as a kind of blue chip acquisition, something that made their streaming service reliable and credible, are having to get rid of him. Is that because Jon Stewart, in the end, is a critical thinker and will ultimately have to say stuff like, wow, what's going on in China? And maybe comment on the escalating tensions between the US and China and the complexity of corporate relationships that are transcendent of national boundaries and are ultimately an expression of a globalist ideology. And certainly the big tech companies like Apple, Facebook, Google, etc. are in that transcendent big tech realm. So ultimately you can you have a figure like Jon Stewart on your streaming service asking questions that will in the end lead to the regulation, dismantling, demonopolizing of organizations like Apple. If you start asking serious questions about Apple's business practices, you're going to come up with some answers that require intervention. So in the end, you can't have Jon Stewart. At least Apple can't have Jon Stewart. They've cancelled him. Let's have a look at that story in more detail.
Okay, apparently I forgot to cut that one. But yes, Jon Stewart has been officially canceled by Apple. I'm sorry, we canceled him years ago, but here we are. Not to say that Jon hasn't fought a couple of good fights. He has over the years, but he is nothing like he was in the 90s, right? And maybe that is us. Maybe we've grown and evolved and learned. Maybe he hasn't, it's a sad thing. So Savvy Sabs took a community strike. Oh, that's so sad. Poor Savvy. Here's the thing, guys. When you take a community guideline strike, and they don't tell you it's for, this 2-minute clip or for this or that. They'll give you a loose definition, misinformation, disinformation, medical disinformation. And you're supposed to go watch your 3-hour show and try to figure out what you did wrong. They never tell you what you did wrong. I'm sorry to Sab. I think she's only had one before, so she'll be back up and running. You know what happens? You get shut down for a week. It fucks you monetize wise. They take viewers from you because YouTube's always pulling your numbers off. And then you get to come back in a week or two, depending on how soon. Like, we just took a strike 2 weeks ago. For what? I don't know. I'm guessing it was for AOC's Fartgate video, but it could have been for anything. And now if we take another one in the next 90 days, then we're shut down for 2 weeks. If you take 3 in 90 days, you're off of YouTube. So you just never know what it is. I saw something that was funny over here, but now I can't remember what it is. Yeah, the oh my God, them changing the words of changing the definitions. You guys are going off about that. They changed the definition of vaccines. Go Start says over on the Rumble. Yeah, they absolutely did. They just like, oh yeah, we'll just change the definition of it. Just in, Mike Pence has dropped out of the presidential run. He has suspended his campaign officially. And Trump says, cry harder, Karen. And his fly is still hanging out, I see. God, he needs to do something about his fly. Like he ever had a snowball's chance in hell. Just saying. I mean, we're still a year out. He didn't even make it a year out, right? That's crazy. Let's see what the Vigilant Fox says are the top headlines that you are not being told this week. Media blackout stories. 10 stories they choose not to tell you this week. Number 10, 97% of scientists don't agree on climate change. Oh, I think we knew that. Number 9, the EU politicians make a bold statement about Donald Trump. I checked that one out, and I think I have it's in the next slide. 8, Tucker Carlson declares that the whole George Floyd story was a lie. What do you think about that? We're getting a lot of information now that it was a possible fentanyl overdose that actually took George Floyd out. Could very well be. Let's see what else. Number 7, a man gets dragged out of Hillary Clinton's rally for asking Bill Clinton about Bill Clinton's trips to Epstein Island. Of course, that was Alex Rubinstein, I want to say, and I brought you the clip. It's coming up. You'll see it. Let's see. Number 6, Big Pharma doesn't want you to know that statin drugs are impairing brain functions. What? Could be. I don't know. Number 5, new research finds heart anomalies within 48 hours of the, I'm on YouTube, so I'm not going to say what it is. Number 4, the Florida Surgeon General drops eyes, opening revelations on Biden's administration booster push. Okay. Number 3, Swiss bankers call for the arrest of Bill Gates and those responsible for a democide. Oh, that's good. Number 2, whistleblower reveals that startling data links tens of thousands of New Zealanders' deaths to the, you got it, that's right, the boop boop. And probably why Jacinda jumped on the first bus out of fucking town. And number 1, Pfizer hid nearly 80% of boop boop boops deaths from regulators in order to qualify for emergency use authorizations. All shit we knew. All stuff we've been telling you for years. We've been telling you about the Pfizer stuff for years and years and years, right? Speaking of that, you guys know where I'm going to be hanging out tonight? I'm going to go stop by Brave New Future with Miss Amber King tonight over on the Rokfin. Join us. It's going to be fun. I haven't got to hang out with Amber in a long time, so I'm excited to hang out. And we really missed her for Halloween. Normally, she's there for the Roar Media Halloween, so... Okay, here's the Trump story. So on October 17th, Trump made some strong statements about the WHO. In a viral True Social video, the 45th president said the WHO has become nothing more than a corrupt global scam paid for by the United States, but owned and controlled by China. The WHO deserves to be completely abolished and replaced. I want to say he said the same thing about NATO last week, too. Tom Hartman, stop acting so fucking shocked. You have the worst case of Trump derangement syndrome I have ever seen. And I've seen a lot of Trump derangement syndrome in my life. He needs to move on it. Okay, so here's your Hillary clip. One of them. I brought you guys 2 Hillary clips. Here's the first one where she is being asked by Alex about her husband's trips to Epstein Island.
Then you want somebody who's going to get up every day.
Hey, Hillary, why'd your husband visit Epstein Island 26 times?
What are they chanting? What are they chanting? I can't tell.
Is this really
necessary? Is this really necessary, guys? Is this really necessary? Is this really necessary, sir? Hey, is this necessary, officer? You guys are dragging a grown man out. Is this necessary? Seriously, come on. Hey,
oh, you're gonna get some carpet burn.
Don't hit me, man. You guys are dragging somebody out in public.
You're not welcome. Private event.
You decide
Why do you guys support like this endless government spending? I mean, she's giving more money to white people in Ukraine than you freaking idiots in Houston who keep voting for her. Endless money to Ukraine. Endless money for Israel. She's not anti-establishment. You guys vote for the same shit over and over again. Same crime. It's going to be like just like Chicago. You guys love this shit.
All right, you have a blessed day, sir. Have a nice day.
Oh my gosh. So bad, but I'm so glad somebody had the balls to do it. We should be doing this every time these vile creatures get into public. You know, that is our First Amendment right. Absolutely. So the horror never stops because in another panel that she gave this week, this is what Hillary had to say about Hamas and a ceasefire.
People who are calling for a ceasefire now do not understand Hamas. That is not possible. It would be such a gift to Hamas because they would spend whatever time there was a ceasefire in effect rebuilding their armaments, you know, creating stronger positions to be able to fend off an eventual assault by the Israelis. So we're in a very different world. I don't think it had to be the world we're in, but that's where we are, and we've got to figure our way forward through it.
Yes, you would have taken us to war so much quicker, huh? This would have already been done and over with if I had been president in 2016. You know, we kept telling people she wants war. And I remember being at DIM headquarters like, what are you talking about? Like, oh my gosh, if you can't see it. So yeah, my sentiment is fuck you, suck my lady balls, bitch. Favorite meme, definitely love that meme. That meme's been around for years on the Beauty and the Boomer deck, so I had to steal it because it's a great meme. So since it's Halloween, I had to show you guys my favorite Halloween meme, and here it is, an oldie but a goodie. The little girl dressed as Hillary is refusing to go away. Nice touch. Just go away, please. That's all we've been saying for years. And hashtag thank you, Seth Rich, a true American hero. We wouldn't know the things that we know nowadays if it wasn't for Seth Rich. And you will never convince me that Seth Rich wasn't the source of the WikiLeaks Hillary Clinton emails. And, you know, talking about vile, disgusting Democrats, why don't we lead off with this asshat right here? The anti-war candidate Bernie Sanders faces backlash on his $1.2 trillion war machine that he brought to Vermont. Yeah, that's right, guys. The failed Lockheed Martin 735 Lightning II fighter jet will come to Vermont to be stationed at the Air National Guard base in Burlington International Airport. The jets are rumored to be nuclear capable, and citizen groups, companies, and environmental activists want the program removed from their state. Bernie Sanders, the state's junior senator and a 2020 campaign for the president, was one of the several officials who brought the program to the state. So this is a failed program. The failed 735 program cost taxpayers, is that $1.7 trillion or billion dollars? Or it might as well be trillion, right? I mean, for the average American, do we really know the fucking difference between a billion and a trillion? In my mind, it's all the same, right? You could say trillion, you could say billion. And I'm still thinking how fucking wasteful. We have hundreds of thousands, millions of people homeless in this country, you know, people unable to feed themselves, working 2-3 fucking jobs. But hey, we got money to throw away on the F-35 program. You guys know it. And Bernie, I'm so proud of you. What a war hawk. What a war hawk. How the fuck did you dupe us into thinking you were anti-war? If any of us would have actually looked at your record, the only thing you did that was anti-war was vote against the Iraqi war. But come on. That was so long ago. Yeah. So gross. So gross. Governor Mike DeWine, it was a meaningful morning in Xena today as we broke ground on Greene County's new corrections facility named in honor of the late Sheriff Gene Fisher. The new jail was Sheriff Fisher's dream. Oh, yeah, because that's all cops dream of. And we are proud to dedicate it in his honor. Yes, just what we needed, another for-profit prison. And you guys, I brought you reports a couple of weeks ago. They have got plans for a bunch of for-profit supermax that are going to go up all over the country because we have the most incarcerated people on the face of the fucking planet, and we need to double that because, you know, censorship and shit. We just lock those people up anymore. But if you're a true criminal, you'll just get a slap on the wrist. I am once again asking you to subvert your principles and support a right-wing authoritarian warmonger. Yes, Bernie, we hear you. We hear you, Bernie. We heard you. So disgusted I ever fell for that guy, right? He goes in that basket of, oh, what was I thinking? And there's quite a few in that basket of, ooh, what was I thinking? You want to talk about another disgusting specimen of a human being? I had to bring you guys Kirby. So I brought you the fake crying Kirby from a week ago. Remember when he does that bullshit? Well, it turns out he has a history of doing that because he did it a year ago when we were talking about the Iraqi war. Check it out. This guy's the worst actor. He needs to be in Hollywood and he needs a CIA agent.
There have been civilian casualties and that there likely will be more is being honest, because that's what war is. It's brutal, it's ugly, it's messy. I've said that before. It's hard to look at what he's doing in Ukraine, what his forces are doing in Ukraine. It's difficult to look at the...
Oh, I'm choked up.
Sorry. It's difficult to look at some of the images and imagine that any well-thinking, serious, mature leader would do that.
So gross, and he is gross. One time we refaced Pasta on Kirby. Pasta was like, it was funny. F. Michael, Tracy, and Bernie, Golden Monarch, I am with you. I actually, get this. So the second day of the 2016 DNC convention in Philadelphia, somehow I ended up at Hillary Clinton's fucking hotel where all her delegates were. Like, that's where they housed all the delegates. It was some crappy, Holiday Inn or something. I don't know. But we ended up in the bar of it. And there was this guy sitting down the end of the bar, kind of scruffy and I don't know. And I was with the head of the Progressive Independent Party, and she's elbowing me and she's like, do you know who that is? That's Michael Tracy. And after having a conversation with that guy, I was not impressed, and I have not been impressed ever fucking since. So some people love him. I'm not one of those people at all, for sure. So did you see this clip? And I don't know where this clip came from. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think it's probably out of context, but maybe it's not because it's Biden. Where Biden calls the Pope an African-American baseball player? What? Yeah, this is the first time I've seen it. You guys tell me, what am I missing on this clip?
Thank you for that. He was a famous African-American baseball player in America. I know.
Afro-Americano. What? I'm sure that's got to be taken out of context. Is that taken out of context? It must be. I don't know. Biden's capable of doing that stupid ass shit. Would he call the Pope a famous African-American baseball player? Most likely. I could see that happening. We got a few questions. Starting with, why does a rabbi own Pornhub? What? Did you guys know that? I'm not even going to pretend. Rabbi Freeman owns Pornhub. Why? Why does he own it? This is crazy. It even shocked Alex Jones, I got to say. I don't know. Are you shocked? There doesn't seem to be any morals anymore. Okay, guys, let's talk about COVID. If I didn't cause a strike with the last section we just did, I'm definitely going to cause one with this section. Oz, take a breath. It's okay. I promise. I'm not trying to get us dinged, but you never know. The Adventures of Ivermectin. Let's hear it. Okay, now we've been told that we are allowed to talk about ivermectin again on YouTube. I guess that'll be the true test if we are. Yeah, don't be a donkey, man. Don't be a donkey. For sure. Take the horse. Don't take the horse to warmer. How Pfizer hit nearly 80%. Yeah, we already talked about this. That was in the top 10 stories. And we've been telling you guys that for years. I mean, for years, we told you that the clinical trials were an effing joke. If at the least, they were a complete joke. Did you guys see Pfizer's stock? Look at Pfizer's stock. Oh no. Pfizer is losing it. It's just going down. But hey, they made their money right out the gate, right? Be the last you get from me. That's right, Oz Gable. For sure. Be the last you get from me. And oh, this is Project Veritas or James O'Keefe. He's not Project Veritas anymore, right? Well, maybe this is old then, because he's not with Project Veritas anymore. Remember, they had a board takeover just like they did with The Intercept, and they kicked him out of his own creation like they did Glenn Greenwald. But let's see this.
Hey, Vanessa? Vanessa Gelman, I'm a reporter with Project Veritas.
Vanessa Gelman, who works in Washington, D.C., is Senior Director of Worldwide Research. From Vanessa Gelman.
From the perspective of corporate affairs, we want to avoid having the information on the fetal cell line floating out there. We believe that the risk of communicating this right now outweighs any potential benefit that we could see, particularly with general members of the public who may take this information and use it in ways we may not want it out there.
Miss, why did you send emails telling Pfizer employees not to report that you guys were using fetal cell lining, Miss? What else are you hiding from the public? Miss, what else are you hiding from the public? The public needs to know.
I see your red.
Well, there you have it. We wanted to ask her a few questions. She broke out into a sprint. We really think that the public needs to know about the fetal cell lining emails. And we tried to get a comment. She ran. Sometimes they don't want to answer for the fraud that they're committing or the corruption that's going on. We try our best, and the really only question now is who's next.
Okay, that was Lowdown and Slimy of Project Veritas, because they threw that clip in there of James O'Keefe back when James O'Keefe was actually with them. I see what you guys are up to. But even grosser is Pfizer hiding the information. But hey, in 75 years, we will all know the truth of what Pfizer actually did to us in 2021, right? For sure. Bill Gates is sad because Italy becomes the first nation to ban Bill Gates' fake meat due to serious health concerns. What? I wish we had, a little bit of common sense like that. We talk about Gates's food. Everything's bioengineered nowadays, guys. Everything, guys. Everything. Like right down to your Campbell's chicken noodle soup. Go check it out. Read the label on the back. It'll say bioengineered food. More and more products I'm noticing are popping up with this bioengineered label. Pretty much if you're eating food in America, you're not eating real food. I'm here to tell you. And you know why America is so fat? Yeah, we're fat because we eat a lot of crap, but it's because of the crap, the chemicals that are in our foods. I'm really starting to understand that. I don't know how many times I've watched interviews where somebody will say, yeah, I left the United States. I ate exactly the same as I ate when I was the same things, and I lost 10 pounds. It's because they stuff our foods with so many chemicals and preservatives here. Got to try to eat as healthy as you can. I get it. It's hard to do, especially when you're poor. I hear you. It is the end of the month, which means it's pancake time, right? So many of us are living hand to mouth right now. Don't let them normalize myocarditis like they did autism. Oh, did I just say that? God, I'm pushing it this morning, aren't I? I really am. Fashion. I brought you guys a fashion because, the kids nowadays, they are very focused on fashion when they should be focused on other things. But check this out.
Raf Simmons, Virginia Creeper, 9 racks, good 3 racks on a good day. Goyard bag, bought it for 2 racks, it goes for like 5, whatever. 1 of 1 Capital pants, priceless, few racks. Mason Margellas.
Dolce & Gabbana, Bear backpack, retails like 2,000 or some shit. Helmut Lang, 2004, cowboy shirt. Vivian Westwood, mermaid necklace. LGB, back cross. Dolce & Gabbana, hybrid pants. Mason Margellas on the feet.
Capital bandana hoodie, Rick Owens, Crush Cargos, jewel baskets on some light shit.
Yeah, you got that shit on, man.
Oh my God. I could dress those kids and they would look just like that for $20 at freaking, I would say Goodwill, but I refuse to shop at Goodwill anymore. I go to our local thrift stores. Support the local thrift stores that are actually helping your communities. A lot of them have like Habitat for Humanity stores. We have one called Serenity Shop, which goes directly to our homeless shelter. So try to find the local stores that are actually helping your community. Don't give your fucking money to Goodwill because they're overpricing, selling you back your neighbor's crap and pocketing all that money and putting it in the CEO's pocket. And I love when you're checking out there and they say, would you like to round up? Yeah, that money's not going to help the people that they hire. That money's going to help their CEOs at the end of the day. So, these poor kids, guys, we're in trouble. I was just watching some dubbed, I want to say it was Chinese show about these drones that follow you around all day. It was like pre-crime type of thing, right? Uh, the kids of the future have grown up under censorship, so they think it's okay. They've grown up with this digital spying on them, so they think it's okay. And they've grown up with brands that they think if they don't step out their doors from head to toe, covered in brand names that are overpriced, right? Then they're not cool, and it's so sad to watch. It really is, and that's how we're gonna slip into the authoritarian nightmare that is coming because these kids have grown up in it. Okay, it's time for Hollywood. Go fuck yourself. We're kind of moving fast this morning, but I still have a lot of slides, so we'll be okay. Harry Sessions, Biden's little go-to, is very upset. If you're trying to argue that Matthew Perry has anything to do with vaccines, you're a piece of shit. You're an awful person and a complete lunatic. Let the man rest. You can vax the entire planet, but you can't feed the starving. Oh, excellent point. And, Matthew Perry, I don't think it's been clear yet if he drowned or if he had some kind of heart issue, right? But what we do know is that he has been out there pushing a shirt that says, "Could I be any more vaccinated? Get your shot, then you get your shirt." So apparently, he was selling these shirts that said, "Could I be any more vaccinated?" Of course, we just saw a presser a couple of months ago, maybe 6 months ago, from him. He wrote a book, and we kind of got to look into his addictions. And he was my favorite character on Friends. He truly was. I even had a cat named Chandler Bing for many years. It's very sad how his life played out, and it's very sad. There is conspiracy theories out there saying that he was about to spill the tea on Hollywood and pedogate, and that's why he was taken out. But don't they always have that? Every celebrity that dies, they always say that, right? You'll always see that on Twitter. Oh, they were going to do a documentary about sex trafficking, or Anne Heche, right? They took her out. I don't know. We're going to have to wait to see what his report says, his toxicology report. And it's just sad that so many people are dying suddenly. It truly is sad. And he was young. 54 to me is not old. When I think old, I think 85 years old, right? I mean, most of my grandparents, the ones that didn't die young, they lived into their 80s. I mean, my grandmothers lived into their 90s. So when somebody passes at 54, to me, that is young. You still have so much more life to live. Dirtbag Rob Reiner tweeted out, Republicans are fine with Americans being slaughtered, and we fixed it. I think due dissidents actually fix this. Democrats and Republicans are fine with Palestinians being slaughtered. There you go. Yes, definitely. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine works. Yeah, Oz, you do know how that works. You definitely know. I added this last minute. Okay, so there is some good celebrities out there that are actually supporting the Palestinian people, and I brought you a Lee Camp clip, and of course they are the names that you think, but not this woman. Of course, this is what is her name? Is it Maya or something like that? She used to be on some 90s sitcom called Blossom. And then she was over on the Big Bang Theory for a while, right? Now she has a podcast. I find her the most revolting, self-unaware, pretentious person ever in the world. And yeah, of course she supports Israel. But let's hear who supports Palestine.
Joaquin Phoenix, Kate Blanchett, and Susan Sarandon. Susan Sarandon, one of the most incredible human beings on the planet. She is so awesome. She's always on the correct side of all this stuff, and she's not worried about losing gigs over it or anything else. She always is standing up for the downtrodden, the persecuted. She is the opposite of Sean Penn, who basically just endorses all of the U.S. war crimes, but he does it in such a way where he pretends he's somehow caring for people. Anyway, when is Sean Penn going to go running over to help Gazans? Is he, because I know he went running to Ukraine. Is he going to run? We're going to see an image of him with a gun strapped around his shoulders, running into Gaza to protect Gazans from Israel? Because I haven't noticed that photo yet.
I don't think so.
Joaquin Phoenix often does very cool shit. He spoke out against factory farms in one of his acceptance speeches, which was pretty incredible considering nobody speaks out against factory farms, which should be called torture farms. They're horrific. And I often like to make the point, even if you eat meat, okay, eat your meat, but you don't need to get it. You don't need to endorse factory farming. You don't need to endorse the horror show that is factory farming. But that's a side note. Let's stick with what we're talking about right now. Kate Blanchett and Susan Sarandon. A-listers. Also, another one that's not that I see listed here is, for God's sakes, what's his name? Played the Incredible Hulk.
Mark Ruffalo.
I'll just say the Incredible.
It was Mark Ruffalo, right? So Mark Ruffalo is normally out there, we've seen him on the front line for a lot of different issues. Definitely didn't see him for COVID. A lot of these people we didn't see for COVID, right? Which just blows my mind, because how do we have an oppressive, overstepping government that just does what they want. But then when it comes to COVID, you're like, oh, we've got to bow down and we've got to listen to what they have to say. It always blows my mind, but I'm glad to see that there is a few celebrities out there who don't give a shit if they get casted in the next big role, because they got to do what's right. Oh, let me update my deck. Denver, I got your meme. I added it. It's too funny. Okay, go into slide mode. There we go. Okay. This was a quick ad here in the corner. I just got this meme from Denver Attaway over on Rokfin. Thank you, Denver. Come on, Vladimir Putin, Xi Jinping, Kim Jong-un. What the fuck, Matthew Perry? Yeah, that's pretty funny. Pretty morbid, but funny. Kim Kardashian introduces a skin bra with built-in nipples. Oh my God. Ugh, are you serious? I'm so confused. Ladies out there, help me out. Haven't we spent our whole entire lives trying to conceal the hard nipples, and now we got to buy bras with hard nipples in them? What? I mean, I guess it would be okay that they're pointing in the same direction. That would be my only take. Like, okay, instead of one hunting and fishing, they're both going the same direction. But we'll see if this is a moneymaker. The kids nowadays, man, the kids nowadays. F the Kardashians. Gamer, I couldn't be more with you. I think they are some of the most pretentious, evil people on the planet, right? Oh yeah. Never tried to conceal hard nipples. Kate, you were always fishing, huh? Oh my God. That's the world we're living in. Seriously? Fuck me. Okay, guys, we made it to Meme Alley. Meme Alley. You don't get out of the trailer park unless you go through the Meme Alley. We got a lot of them today because you guys have been at it. Are you next? Are you next? Me in 2020 explaining what it was about, what's about to go down. Me in 2023 when my normie friends know I was right. Yeah, I've been getting that a little bit. Even people who thought I was fucking out there 5 or 6 years ago are kind of going like, oh yeah, she had got that one right. I try. That's all I can say. Bill Gates' vaccine in our food supply solves the problem of vaccine hesitancy in the same way slipping a roofie in a drunk girl's in a girl's drink solves the problem of sex hesitancy. Oh, that is so true, right? The last thing you see after you expose the Epstein client list. Oh gosh, no. You guys know there's no Epstein client list, right? You know, there isn't like a list like since it's most of the fucking government and big players and most of the most powerful people in the world, there isn't a list. There isn't like some list that can be Xeroxed off and passed out to people. I mean, we have the flight logs, so we have a pretty good idea. We know who Epstein hung around with. And there is a couple of new lawsuits that are pending that I haven't grabbed yet. Who was it? Peter Nygaard, was it Nygaard? Yeah, it was Nygaard is being charged right now. It turns out Abercrombie and Fitch was the front of a trafficking ring. Oh, are we shocked? Big Fashion was abusing models in the 90s and 2000s and still probably are. Not shocked at all. I'll get you guys an update on that. Jason Burmis did a good deep dive into it. Go check out JB. Jason Burmis. Yeah, he did a great job of looking into that and always has. That's where I've got most of that good information from. But I agree with Burmis. I don't think there's an Epstein list that we're ever going to get, right? And I issued laptops to the Congress free with the back door. Oh, you sneaky sly guy. You guys think he's still alive? Tell me, is John McAfee still alive? Did he stage his own death or did he die in a sweat? Was it a Spanish prison or was it in Italy? I don't remember, but I don't know. I don't know. His wife seems to think he's gone. So there you go. Thanks for the HRC image. That was scary. Poor Britney Spears, but Britney's getting the last laugh, guys. She's got the #1 book in the country right now. She slapped JT around a little bit, Justin Timberlake with the truth. And yeah, she dropped some truths on the industry for sure. I don't know if John McAfee's still alive, but I tell you what, he definitely caught my my attention because he was interesting for sure. You know, Steve from Slow News Day actually did an interview with him. I'd say about 18 months, maybe 2 years before he died. I think it's still up on their channels. Go check it out. He did a really good job. It was an interesting conversation. But backdoors into Congress's laptops. Come on. Just like Elon has a backdoor into anything that he is putting out there, right? The government's always screaming about Elon doing this and Elon doing that. You guys give him power. You give him the power because you're dumb. Let's see. Property taxes, state income tax, sales tax, federal tax, my paycheck. Yeah, that's true. We don't have state income tax here in Washington state, and that is why we are the most taxed state in the nation. We don't pay income tax, but we pay out the nose for everything fucking else in this state for sure. Let's see. Dear bill collectors, I know I owe you, but I got some good news. I typed amen on a Facebook post. In 48 hours, I will get a ton of money. So when I get it, I will pay you. Yeah. You guys have seen those stupid Facebook posts are like, type amen and you'll be blessed in the next 24 hours. Ladies, it's time to start thinking about if the guy you're dating has a post-apocalyptic warlord potential. It is. We are coming into that time. Think seriously. I'm telling you got to think seriously. Is your partner ready to survive the apocalypse? I don't know. Well, when I'm at a party and I hear someone mention that we are souls stuck in Avatar's body and our goal is to survive and defeat the simulated matrix. Oh, yeah. I like the what is it? Was it Schopenhauer who says that this is a penal colony? And if you look at it like we are all here in a penal colony, like we all did something wrong and we've been sentenced to go to Earth, then you look at everybody different because now you understand that everybody is suffering. There's just different levels of suffering. I find that kind of comforting. I think it gives you a better outlook. My mother used to tell me that all the time, way before I heard that it was an actual theory. My mom would be like, "Oh yeah, this is a prison. We've been sentenced here." Could very well be. Let's see. What does this say? Keep your spirits high. Yeah, keep your spirits high, but not with the crack pipe, guys. Not a crack pipe. Smoke the weed all day long, but stay away from the government issued crack pipes. you know, the Biden issued crack pipes. Do you guys remember when Biden was issuing crack pipes in 2020 with his campaign logo on them? Yeah, that was good times. Hunter S. Thompson says, we have become a Nazi monster in the eyes of the whole world. Bullies and bastards who would rather kill than live peacefully. We are whores for power and oil, and we hate and fear in our heart. Oh, Hunter S. Thompson. You know, you guys know I used to love Hunter S. Thompson, my favorite author when I was younger, but now I know things about him. I go, maybe he was in on it. I don't know. There's this crazy story about him coming from New York and picking up a kid in a cage and taking it out to Bohemian Grove. So that story used to be on YouTube. That story was on YouTube for 10 years. And then when all the censorship came down a couple of years ago, that story disappeared. But I'm sure you can still find it somewhere. Everyone I don't like is anti-Semitic. The Zionist guy talking about the ethnic cleansing of Palestine. There you go. There you go. That is an oldie but a goodie that keeps getting updated. Wasn't it You Are Racist just last week? I'm pretty sure. That book changes constantly. Halloween. Boomer. They ought to replace all the fast food workers with a $15 robot. All the boomers also at the self-checkout kiosks. Yeah, that's it too. Man, those kiosks can drive you insane. Let me tell you for sure. Fun fact, the average person walks past a murderer 36 times in their lifetime. Ooh. But they didn't kill you, so there you are. You're good. You're good. They didn't kill you. That is crazy. 36 times in your lifetime you walk past the serial killer. And there's so many more serial killers out there than we are even know about, right? I mean, some of them are so good at concealing it, they never get found out. Shit, there's a lot of them from the 1800s that we're just now figuring out who the hell they were, right? I guess it's a high like anything else, you know. Got to get higher and higher. Crazy fact, though. Stay away from those serial killers, fams. And good morning, Joey's. Joey's Coffee. You know, you can get Joey's Coffee by contacting Oz, and he'll get you hooked up with an order. And I just got an order in the mail last week, and I love my Joey's Coffee. I only allow myself to drink it like once a week, and then I have to drink crappy Folgers or whatever I have because it's so good. It's such a treat. Like I share it with friends and family when they come over. It's a great gift. You guys help Joey out, order some coffee. And I'm telling you, it is some of the best coffee I've ever had. And I owned 3 espresso stands in the Northwest. So I know coffee. I like this meme. Left nostril, right nostril. God, isn't that the way? And then you roll over, right? Because you can't breathe out one side. So you roll over and try to get it to drain into the other side. And then you hurry up and you lay flat so that way you can breathe for a minute or two. Yeah, I know. It's relatable. It's definitely relatable, especially as we come into cold and flu season. Oh, what are those? I don't know. What are those? Cold and flu? They don't exist anymore. Free pasta. Where's Pasta been? Pasta's doing Jimmy Dore show today, guys. Pretty sure Pasta's hosting for Jimmy. Poor Jimmy. He just doesn't look well, does he, guys? I'm very worried about Jimmy. And he's even out there putting posts saying he's not sleeping well. He quit smoking pot for 2 weeks to see if that made him feel better. I get it. When you don't know what's making you feel so bad, you'll try anything. Like, I highly doubt it's the marijuana that's making him feel bad, but I'm glad that he is trying to figure out why he doesn't feel well. But I'm pretty sure that Pasta, you think Jimmy's hosting today? Okay. I know that Pasta is there, and I know that Pasta was scheduled to cover a couple of shows. So we shall see who's going to be in the chair on Jimmy Dore today. And what else? I've been watching a lot of Moats, like every Sunday and Wednesday. I watch Moats. I love Moats. I've been catching a lot of Redacted lately, like not the Lee Camp Redacted, the Natalie and Clayton Redacted. They've had some good information, but I find myself listening to a couple people that I kind of stopped listening to for a while, like Lee Camp. During COVID, I didn't want anything to do with Lee Camp. He didn't get it, but he's doing some good shows now. Katie Helper's doing some good shows too. I had to bring some Julia Assange stuff before we get out of here. There's stuff happening. So The trust fall, Julian Assange asked this week whether he requested for Biden to drop the case against Assange. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese stated Joe Biden doesn't interfere with the Department of Justice. Joe Biden is a president who understands the separation of the judicial system from, from whatever. Bullshit. I thought I grabbed this. No, apparently I didn't grab the video on that one, but I know I do have a video. Here we go. You guys, we need to call. There is a lot of pressure coming down on Congress right now on our elected representatives. We have quite a few of them now starting to put that pressure on the Biden administration to release Julian Assange. We are so past the point of this being out of hand. He needs to be released. They've ruined his life for what, 13 years now? It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Julian Assange's brother, Gabriel Shipton, has spent the week leading a campaign for Congress to apply some pressure to free him.
Wiser heads need to prevail. What has been served? What purpose has been served by keeping Julian in prison? There is, political goodwill also for the Biden administration to take this up. This case is a real scandal, and Biden can end it very simply.
Free Assange. So what you can do, and I didn't grab the number, damn it, it's on my Wednesday deck, but you can call the White House switchboard. You can call the Congress switchboard. Say, hey, free Julian Assange. You can call your local representative. You can call your state representative. Just free Assange, free Assange, free Assange. But in the meantime, you can write Assange, and I love Gabriel. Gabriel is the sweetest. You guys know I got to hang out with Gabriel. I call him a friend. He is the sweetest damn guy, and I'm sure Julian's very much like him in his temperament. And I love that family. I want to see Assange back with his kids, right? Free my dad. Free my dad. Anyways, you can write Julian Assange. I haven't wrote him in a couple of months. I kind of feel guilty. I tell you guys to write him and then I haven't. I'm going to do that today. Just so I am walking my walk and talking my talk, right? So you can write Assange. There's the address, prisoner, and there's his number, and HMP, Belmars, Western Way, London, SC28 OEB, UK. And don't put a 0 cent stamp on there. Definitely throw some postage on there so it gets there. You won't get anywhere with Biden, I promise. And let's free Assange. Just lost my whole screen. And I think that is the end of the deck. Oh my God, we made it through the show and on time. You guys know we got Beauty and the Boomer this weekend. Oz, I hadn't seen this card. Great card. I love that dress. I wish I had that dress in real life. And the hair, no. I did those long hair extensions this weekend for Harlequin. Those things are a pain in the ass. Why would you want hair that gets stuck in your arms and you're sitting on it? Like, I could never have long ass hair like that for sure. No, I never could, but it'll be a good show. Beauty and the Boomer. Hopefully we'll still be on the YouTubes for that. If you guys want to help me out, you can hit my different links right here, how you can support the show. There's my link tree and my Spot Fund. I have everything. We have Spot Fund, we have PayPal, we have Buy Me a Coffee. There's so many ways that you can support the show and help us out. And even if you can't afford anything, you can hit the like button and you can share, or you can tell your friends about us. And that's how you can support the show. Let's see, what else do I got on here? I think that is it. Wow, we are way early today. That's crazy because I had 70 slides. I didn't even skip any. What the hell? I guess it's going to be a good week, right? Okay, let's call out the chats before we get out of here. I got an amazing closer for you guys this week. Let me get rid of this thing. Hey, get back here. Go away. There we go. Okay, Rokfin, we've got Gregory Walker hanging out. Osama number 5. Denver's over there. Good to see you. Chris Foster, you're hanging out there. Jim's in the chat. Leonard's Trust Fund. Good to see ya. Hi, Rumor. I overheard some. Normally he's talking about myocarditis jabs today. The guy, I know everybody's talking about it, right? Because it's not something we used to talk about. Seriously, it wasn't. Did I get Jim? I think I got Jim. I like seeing all these new faces in here, and I want to hope that it's because INN promoted us a little bit this week with the INN Awards. So thank you. If you're new here, make sure you hit the follow button and stick around and join the community. I promise you'll love this community. If you love what I'm talking about, you're going to love this community for sure. So thank you, everybody, hanging out on the Rokfin. Oh, Fred Edwards is over there. I see you, Fred. I see you. And Rumble had quite a few people over there too. We got some new names over there. So we got Dustin in Chicago and Ghost Art. Hi, Ghost Art. JF Bree, good to see you. Salty's Digital Dive and Laugh 66 is hanging out there. Good to see you, Laugh 66. And we'll hit the YouTubes before we get out of here. Hobbs 45 is in the house. So is Dr. Nick Rivera. Bad Cookies is here. Good to see you, Bad Cookies. Kill your gross grace. Right? I can never say that, but I got close. Rad Angel, you made it to the live show. I hope you have a great week. Did I get Gamer? Gamer for life. I saw you talking about games the other day. I saw you talking about Call of Duty, Gamer. And yeah, too bad Call of Duty doesn't follow up on their old games. If they would actually fix the problems with the old games, people might stick around instead of just propping out a new game that doesn't fucking work. Bad Cookies, I already got. Jilly Love. Jilly Love is one of our mod extraordinaires. Kurt Boss, I am working on your wrench. I promise I will try to figure out what is going on with the wrench situation. Anthony, good to see you. Golden Monarch, happy to see you. Dirty Dollars. I got Hobbs 45 already. Vic Vass Adams is here. Vic, thank you for joining us. I think I emailed you, Vic. I did. Oh, check your mails. I sent out some Halloween cards. You might have one in your mailbox today or tomorrow. Just depends on how long they take to get out. Seems like the mail's been slower lately. I don't know. Who else is in here? Scrolling. Popeye the Sailor. Wesley, good to see you. Salty's Digital Dive, you're hanging out on the YouTubes. I appreciate that. I think I got everybody. 4737 Carlin. I'm gonna look at your wrench too, try to figure out what is wrong. DC is in the house. Good to see you, DC. And Rick, good to see you, Rick. Yeah, I think we got everybody. If I missed you, keep joining the chat. I will get you in one of the shout outs, I promise. Okay, guys, let's see. It's a crazy Monday. It's the end of the month, the beginning of the month. Uncle Warren's hanging out too. Did you guys check out Uncle Warren's super secret show after Beauty and the Boomer on Saturday night? Definitely be following Extra Bola. Yeah, I think we got everything covered. Okay, I am out of here. I got to go clean house and go to town and try to warm up. Stay warm out there. It is freezing. And yeah, just, try to keep your spirits up. I know it's hard, man. I see so many people emotionally overwhelmed with everything that we're seeing and dealing with online. Take a break, walk away from it. If you're feeling, even I, like the end of last week, I was just having like meltdowns, like for no fucking reason. And it's because of the amount of negativity that we're taking in, right? So, hey, Corky, good to see you. So let's just try to be kind to each other and, walk away from the propaganda, man. Don't suck it in. So in the spirit of Halloween, I thought I'd bring you a kind of a Halloween-y type of song. I hope everybody has a great All Hallows Eve and be safe out there. Don't be eating any of that poison drug candy, How do I get some of that? That's what I'm always asking. So we are going out with the Annie Lennox version of I Put a Spell on You by Brittany J. Smith. This girl can sing. Oh my gosh. Or woman. This woman can sing. Amazing. Okay, guys. I will be back Wednesday morning and have a great week.
I put a spell on you. Because you're mine. You better stop the things you do. You know I ain't lying. I ain't lying. You know I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you anyhow. And I don't care if you don't want me. I'm yours right now. I put a spell on you. Oh, because you're mine. You know I can't stand it. You're running around. You know daddy, daddy. I can't stand it 'cause you put me down. Oh no, I put a spell on you. Oh, because you're mine. Because